Hello folks, it's Marji Roy from 3dcuts.com, and today I am videotaping the tutorial of the assembly for my Nativity embroidery hoop design. I've done a series of projects using embroidery hoops as the structure for shadow boxes. I really like this technique. It is very easy to do. This is a great beginner project for people just wanting to get started in shadow boxes with a little bit of dimension to them. Let's get started. The very first thing that I did was I took a piece of 12 by 12 cardstock. I took it outside and I hit it with a very light spray of flat white spray paint. I did it off to the side to avoid really white spots. I got a little one here, but that's okay. This is going to be my background, and I want it to show like a starry night. So instead of just being flat blue, it now has speckles on it. This is optional. I did that outside. Now, the embroidery hoops that I use are size 10 and 8 inches. You need to go to my website before you continue to check on the written portion of this tutorial. It gives you links to where I got these, the papers that I use, any hints that I have that I think of after I do the video. It's an important resource for you, but also if you're on a Cricut and having trouble with sizing, you've got to check the sizes there. The embroidery hoops that I purchased from Amazon come in a lot of sizes, and they aren't real accurate. This is a 10-inch one, and it comes in at 10.5. This is an 8-inch one, and it comes in at 7 7/8. But if you check it in other directions, you'll find that they really aren't round. So I have not included a circle for you to cut out for the back of this. You're going to have to cut it to match your particular embroidery hoop when you get it. So I'm going to put my embroidery hoop on here. I'm going to take a pencil and I'm going to trace the outside all the way around. And I'm going to trace the inside all the way around, being sure not to wiggle in between. What I want to do is I want to cut a circle that is exactly the size of this smaller ring. So I've drawn that, and I'm going to cut right in the middle between them in order to get my background ring. I'm going to put a mark where the top was. That'll help make me place it correctly if my embroidery hoop is a little bit askew. There, that's my background with speckled stars. We'll put that to the side while I work on the other part. I am first going to take the inside hoop and I am going to remove this. I'm going to take the hoop and I'm going to glue the two together and remove that bracket. I don't like the bracket showing in the middle of my shadow box. And if I glue the hoops together, I won't need it. Okay, put those together, tighten this up, and put it to the side to dry. I'll be able to take that out later. So that's drying now. Now I have already cut the pieces. There are 3 8.5 by 11 sets of pieces here, 1 white, 2 white, and 1 gold. There are links to the types of paper I use on my website. Now, in creating the characters, Mary, Joseph, and baby Jesus, they are made by overlapping the parts. If you just overlap the white on white, you will lose the detail of the different parts of his robe, her robe, and the baby. So what I've decided to do before I do that is I carefully line the edges with a bit of ink to make them stand out a little bit. This will show beautifully if you have it lit to show up the differences, but in most lighting situations, this will all blend in and you won't be able to tell the difference of the parts. So I have some Tim Holtz Distress ink. This is a purple, and I'm using it because it really matches nicely with the blue background. I'm going to take the parts that go on front. I don't need to do Mary, but I do need to do Mary's robe. And I lightly edge each piece with this ink. I wonder how this would look if I had gold ink. I think that might be stunning. And if any of you have gold ink and want to try that, I'd love to see it. So that goes on there. Her dress also goes on there, so I need to do that one. Reality. There we go. This is her sleeve. All the edges of that are important. On Joseph, we need to do his, we need to do his robe here. And we need to do his headdress. And again, his sleeve. And there's this tiny piece, which is the rope that holds his headdress on. That needs to get done as well. On baby Jesus, we need to do the top of the front of the manger. That's the one with one leg. We need to do the tops of both of the swaddling pieces here. And this is the swaddling piece with the head of baby Jesus. The other edges aren't visible. Okay, now we can start assembling them. I'll take Mary and onto the back of the dress piece, that's the one with this little hole out for her arm, I will put art glitter glue. Art glitter glue is my glue of choice. I have transferred it to this little bottle to make it easy for me to control the amount. There's a link to it on my website. Line up the bases and the back. And that's the first layer on Mary. Then comes her cloak. Put glue on that. Line up the back of the head. Oh, before you put the cloak on, don't do that. We need her halo. Now both Mary and Joseph's halos are a little bit different in size, so make sure you've got the right one before you put them on. Put halo, glue on the halo. Now put the cloak on. There we go. And the final piece of Mary is the arm. The arm, this little hook goes around the hand there. It lines up down here at the bottom. Make sure you put the glue on the back side. I love the simplicity of these designs. There's Mary. Now we'll work on Joseph. On Joseph, we put the halo on first. And next goes the back side of his cloak. And then we will put on his sleeve. And on his sleeve, the cutoff corner is his shoulder. It will fit on like that. Match up the bottom. Next, we'll put on his headdress. And I'm going to use tweezers to glue on the rope that goes around the headdress. And there's Joseph. And now for baby Jesus. Start with the manger that has the 4 legs. That's the back one. Pick the piece that has the head of the baby on it. And match up the head and the top of the swaddling. Oops, don't do that. I forgot another halo here. I should have done all the halos first because I forget them. Okay, we got to put on baby Jesus's halo first. Now put on baby Jesus. And then in the front of that goes the piece that is just the swaddling. And in front of that goes the final piece of the manger. The high end goes up near the baby's head. There we go. Now we've got baby Jesus done. Okay, now we're going to deal with pop darts for other pieces here. The star and the stable get put together with pop darts. We'll start with the star here. There are 5 pieces. The vertical goes first, then this horizontal will go in front of it. It helps if you turn them over and kind of visually line up your centers and draw lines there so you'll know where to put the pop darts. On the back side of the horizontal piece, we will put the, not pop dots, foam spacers. We'll put foam spacers there, peel them, and carefully align centers and press in place. The next star that goes on is the X-shaped one. Peel those, and these all get centered, so. And then the cross-shaped one goes on top of that. On all of these, understand that the points are freestanding, so you don't want to put the sticky foam pieces out there. And the complete star goes on the front. That should get completely centered. Like so. Okay, the Star of Bethlehem with some dimensions. Now it's time to put the stable together. On the stable, there will be 2 layers in the back and then 1 on top. All of these get foam dots, and make sure that you get the back side onto the front side. They're not perfectly symmetrical, so you'll run into problems if you don't figure out your sides correctly. Peel those. And carefully place this right on top of the other one. Press in place. Now again, make sure that this is the correct way. Flip it over and put pop dots on the back of this. Carefully line that one up in the front. And press in place. Okay, all our parts are made. Let's start assembling it. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to glue my Starry Sky onto the back of the main frame. Turn this over, and on the back side here, put glue just on the inside ring. Take your ring, line it up, and glue it in place. I don't need the recollection sticker on there. This one will be glued in here. We want the bottoms to meet, and we want these to be in a straight line. I'm going to turn this over, and I'm going to put glue on the back of this one. Okay. Bottoms touching. There we go. Press in place. Now after this dries, I'm going to take this off up here, but right now I'm going to leave it there until these 2 dry. Now the manger will fit right in here. We want this to be in line with this, to be in line with this. Now if your rings are slightly off, it's okay if there are spaces here, but you can also trim those if you need to. They should almost touch everywhere. This is going to be put in place using the foam dots again so that there's more dimension in this shadow box. Okay, I've peeled them all. I'm going to line up the point there so that I'm symmetrical, and then I'm going to bring it down so the bases touch the bottom. I'm going to place it in place and press. And now we position Mary and Joseph. Mary's skirt should go just behind the support of the stable there, and Joseph's should do the same on the other side. And if I position those just so, there should be enough space right between them for the manger to get positioned right there. So we'll start with Mary. And position her skirt so it's just behind the stable on the left side. Press her into place. And we will take Joseph and we will put foam dots on the back of Joseph. Not too close to the edge. I don't like them when they show. Let's redo that one back just a little bit. and peel those. Position Joseph's robe so it goes just behind the stable on the right, and press him into place. And now let's take baby Jesus in the manger. Give him a bunch of foam dots. I won't put any behind the legs. And put those down on the base, like so, and press it into place. Isn't that coming along nicely? Okay, now it's time to take out this little screw here, bolt. I started it with needle nose pliers. We don't need that. I don't want to see it, and if I put this here, it will stick out. This one up there, I need to keep. This will go up higher like that. Now I'm going to use hot glue to hold this on. I am going to put hot glue here and hot glue here. I want the wide part of this up here so that it hides as much of the bracket as possible. I want to be sure that it's square coming down like this, and I got a little too much glue there. Get that out of there. Good. There we go. Now I'm probably going to get a little bit of gold ribbon to put here and hang that. Let's go check that out. I found this in my stash, and I think this will be a really pretty solution for hanging. Cut off about 12 inches. Feed it up through there. Tie a knot at the top. And there we go. Simple, elegant, easy to make. Isn't it gorgeous? Happy crafting, everyone. I've done a number of embroidery hoop designs for Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween. Check them all out at my website and the address shown on the screen.